What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. I surely appreciate it. So listen, guys. Let's get into this real quick. I'm going to dive right into this story here because I think that it's important, and this involves something that I've been talking about for a very, very long time, which is we as black fans, right? We need to specifically, now this goes for everybody, right? But specifically for black comic book, sci-fi, sci-fantasy fans, we need to have some clear standards and expectations when it comes to the way that we are represented in this space. Now, up until now, these creatives will tell you that it's just enough that you're represented. Just shut up, take what we're giving you, and cheer us, applaud us. You know, that's what it's all been about. But when you try to get just a little bit critical, objectively speaking, about these characters that they're giving us, well, you're hit. If you're white, you're smacked with, you must be racist. You just don't want to see black people. You don't want to see gay people. You don't want to see women. You don't want to see trans people, you know? But especially when you're black, they'll call you all types of coons, all types of Uncle Toms. You hate your own. You're just making shit up. You know what I mean? You need to be more grateful for the crumbs that you're getting. And unfortunately, I've gotten a lot of that in my comment section because I dare to actually put out the idea that not only should black people be represented better, but we can also create our own instead of always trying to like grab and appropriate, yeah, I said appropriate, other people's creations, right? So you have here a perfect example of this. This is for all of you people who have come into my comment section, who have been criticizing me, you know, and blasting me for this, you know, the point that I'm trying to make in all of this. And this story here involves everybody's favorite stand-in, Miles Morales, okay? Now, Miles Morales has been given to be an alternate version of Spider-Man, okay? Miles Morales is black, Latino, you know, he checks all the boxes. I don't know if he's gay. I never really read his comic. But here you have Miles Morales, right? And I enjoyed, what is it, Enter the Spider-Verse? I enjoyed that movie, all right? I had a great time watching it with my son. But make no mistake about it. This character exists to check that box. You know what I'm saying? It exists for diversity and inclusion's sake. Instead of giving the character of Miles Morales his own identity with his own powers and all of that stuff, you have him putting on the Spider-Man costume, and he can't even be known as Spider-Man. He is specifically known as Miles Morales. So he's not even given as the one true Spider-Man, will always be Peter Parker, okay? But that wasn't bad enough. They decided they're going to take it one step further. They're going to do a what if series. What if Miles Morales were the Hulk, Wolverine, Captain America? I think on TV they had him be, oh no, that was T'Challa, who was Star-Lord. But, you know, same concept. You know what I mean? It's bullshit, right? But this what if comic, they did what if Miles Morales were Thor, okay? Now, finally, they showed their hand. Finally, they've gone too far. Finally, they've given you an example of everything that I stand for, right? Now, I want to get into this article here that is on Indy100.com. I'm going to read a little bit of this so you can see what's going on here. I'll leave the description in the pinned comment below. Okay, so it says here, Marvel facing backlash for Miles Morales Thor comic featuring racist stereotypes. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It says, a new Marvel comic which reimagines what would have happened if Miles Morales became Thor instead of Spider-Man has received a huge backlash online for its stereotypical depictions of a black neighborhood. The comic, written by Yehudi Mercado with art by Luigi Zagaria, is part of Marvel's upcoming 60th anniversary celebration of Spider-Man. Morales is an alternative Spider-Man from the ultimate universe that has since been brought into the regular Marvel continuity. He might best be known to many as the central character of 2018's Enter the Spider-Verse movie, which, like I said, I did enjoy. In this new What If series, Marvel is exploring what would have happened if Miles Morales didn't have the powers of Spider-Man, but other Marvel heroes, including Wolverine, Captain America, and the Hulk. All right, now see, once again, why you would have, this is really what this is what if these characters were black, okay? That's all they're doing, because as far as I'm concerned, they're not exploring his individual character, as that's not as important as much as just putting a black person in these traditional heroes' identities. You know what I mean? And you couldn't get a better example of this than what you're about to hear, what they did with Thor. Okay, so anyway, in the latest issue, it ponders what would have happened if he had the powers of the god of thunder, Thor, and lived in the god realm of Asgard. However, Asgard, rather than looking like a godly utopia, instead resembles Brooklyn. Brooklyn, where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? We gave them this, guys. This is what we gave them. Sometimes you can't be mad if the way that we're perceived with these damn stereotypes. We've been feeding these people this in our pop culture at least for the last 50 years. You know what I'm saying? So we do bear some of the responsibility for this as far as how we're being perceived and the stereotypes that we perpetuate. And there's graffiti adorning many of the buildings and shoes hanging from telephone lines. Morales' narration in the comic has also been deemed stereotypical. At one point he says, of all the 5 realms, Asgard is his hood. Asgard is his hood in Brooklyn. Okay, guys, let me explain something to you, okay? This is everything that I've been talking about. If you're a young black kid and you're reading a comic like this, is this helping your imagination to expand, or is it closing your imagination? As even a god, you can't escape your hood. That's what's going on. They might as well have put the motherfucker on a plantation. That's what we're dealing with. That's how bad this is. Putting him in a cage, 12 years, 24 years, 48 years a slave in your mind, and they're perpetuating this. I can't escape my reality, even as a god, even in fantasy, even in a godly realm. I'm still in the hood. I still got graffiti. I'm still gonna talk broken English and Ebonics. That's what they're telling you. That's what they're telling any black kid who picks up this comic, and worse, any white kid who picks up this comic about black kids. And then you wonder when they come together in school why they would have a hard time relating to one another. Oh my God. When we used to collect comics back in the day, we all had this challenge towards our imagination. We could all talk like thou, and actually when I was in grade school, we used to do that, me and my friends. Where art thou going? We were some hardcore nerds, dude. That's what we used to do. You know, I art hungry, you know what I mean? But no, this would have you believe that black people can only be black people. Black people can only vote for Joe Biden. You know, that's what it is. Stay in your place, nigga. Yeah, I said it. That's what it really boils down to. That's the type of shit these writers are on. Morales' version of meow, and you know, funny thing is I practice how to pronounce that. His hammer. Okay, Morales' version of the hammer that Thor carries is also covered in graffiti, with him shouting, "It's hammer time! Uh-oh, 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 here come the hammer!" Oh my God, guys. So the hammer is covered in graffiti with him shouting, "It's hammer time!" every time he comes to use it, much like MC Hammer did back in 1990. Can't touch this. Doon, 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 doon. Can't touch this. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Morales has been a firm fan favorite since he was introduced to the comics back in 2011 by writer Brian Michael Bendis. Bend this, bend that, you can bend this. But this iteration of the character has left many readers disappointed by the lazy illustration of a young black man in a black neighborhood. And then they go on and read some of these tweets, right? Here's some of them here. Every time I reread this Miles Morales comic, I find more effed up-ish. What the hell? Why did anybody approve this? Are there no blacks at Marvel? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many black people will ingest this, right? Who think it's keeping it real. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised because I see a lot of them in my comment section who tell me that I'm the problem because I dare to believe that black people can do better. Black people deserve better. But no, shut up. Shut up about Rima. You know, don't say that the actress deserves better. You know, no, I would have to be the problem about all that. It goes on. More tweets. Miles Morales as Urban Thor makes me want comics to go back to being outwardly racist. Well, this is about as outwardly racist as you can get. Marvel comic writer. Okay, so if Miles Morales was Thanos, he would collect the Infinity Rocks onto the Infinity Chain, bling, to unleash a devastating wave check on all living things, capping anyone without enough drip. Marvel editor, I'm gonna let you do everything about this. So anyway, it goes on, it's gross stereotypes. Why is Miles Morales' publication history filled with so much insensitive garbage? I'm baffled. All right, so, anyway, let's see what else it says here. As Screen Rant notes, this is the only one of the Miles Morales what-if stories not to be penned by a black writer, with the other being written by Cody Ziegler, Anthony Piper, and John Ridley, respectively. I'm sure they had a good old time laughing about this one when they came up with that. Yeah, you know what? Let's put some sneakers over the phone lines. You know what? Let's put some graffiti on his hammer. Let's make him talk like the grossest, most exaggerated, stereotypical black boy you could name. You know what I'm saying? And this is the problem, guys. This is the problem when you accept anything. This is the problem when you don't have standards. When you look at the way hip-hop is given to us these days, the fucking ignorance that we allow to go on. If we don't take the lead and we don't show people better, this is what you get. If you stop accepting everything that they give you, you might get something better, but instead you want to just be grateful, like you're just some starving dogs waiting for some crumbs to drop off the table. It's okay with me, no matter what. Would you rather have nothing? Yes! Yes, I'd rather have nothing. And this Miles Morales thing, it's disgusting, okay? This is what they call themselves giving to the black community. Stan Lee understood the need for Black Panther back in the day. You know what I'm saying? He saw what was going on. He was a true visionary. He handled it with dignity and with respect and with responsibility. He would roll over in his grave if he saw something like this. And these are the people who are in charge of doing all of this. These are the people who are in charge of the creation, of giving this to others. Is there nobody there who would object to this? Who would say, we challenge people to be better? That's always been the job of our science fiction, of our science fantasy, to wonder, to imagine, to challenge humanity in its various states, to rise, to be better, to look inward and to dare to dream, not to stay anchored in reality, not to stay in the mud, in the muck, but to get out of it. That's the point of it all. You don't meet people where they are. You challenge them. You challenge them to do better. But this is what we get from Marvel. All right? So people, this is what it's all about. When you come into my comment section and want to run over me and talk about, this is all I'm saying. We have to let people know that we see ourselves as better. So they might see us as better. And like I said, the most important part is we're seeing ourselves as better. So we can give that to our children, so they don't have to go through the things that a lot of us had to go through just to get to the point where you have some semblance of self-esteem, some semblance of dignity, some semblance of respect. But you're not going to get it by accepting some shit like this. All right, guys. So anyway, the article will be in the pinned comment below, so you can take a look at what's going on here. You can see just how bad it gets, and you can let me know how you feel about this, guys. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I thank anyone in advance who wants to take advantage of the Super Thanks feature on the video. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for listening. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on. This is some bullshit.